What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, as we all know by now, AJ and Carl Froch'S, the Cobra, have had a beef for whatever reason. And AJ called in and put it straight on Carl on his podcast. So we're going to get to that reaction now, 100%, no doubt about it.
Actually, but let's get on with it. So the first one's actually a voice note.
Voice note, lovely.
And this is from Anthony, 34, from Watford.
What's happening? How's your week going? How's your podcast going? Quick question. When you boxed John Pascal for your first world title in Nottingham, actually, Tyson Fury actually made his pro debut on that card. You fought for a vacant title, right? So you didn't beat a champion. What do you feel about that?
So, obviously, we've covered this before. Froch'S a few weeks ago, when it was announced AJ versus Dubois, rightfully so, he went in and said, it shouldn't be for a belt. In fact, the Cobra took my bars. I was the first one, for sure, to say, this is a British title fight, people. This is a British title fight. Because it ain't a European title fight. You can't be. Usyk's the European champion. It damn sure ain't a world title fight. This is British level copper box. Now listen, if you want to do a British people, I ain't gonna lie. AJ has clout. Dubois has clout. Am I saying this should be at the copper box? No. It could be at Wembley, but it's still a British level fight. That's what it is. There's no world trinkets here. Yeah? Anyway, Carl Froch'S said something similar. So what AJ's doing here now, he trying to be like, what's that word when someone comes in like sly with it? He like, oh, hey Carl, what's going on, brother? Yeah, I'm just curious, you know. But Carl, you said that I'm fighting for a moody, fake, vacant belt. But, you know, tell me some more about your first world title fight. Because, you know, you fought Pascal for this belt and it wasn't vacant. So I'm just curious. See the angle AJ's coming from. He's trying to be slick with it. Rather than coming out and saying, hey, Carl, you pagan hypocrite, yeah? You fought for a moody vacant belt the same way I'll be doing. So shut your mouth. That's what I don't like about AJ though. He's always trying to be on his Kofi Annan. He's always trying to be on his United Nations. Just come out and say it, man. Hey, boom. Listen, Carl. Yeah? You the vacant champion too. So zip it. Now we're gonna get into the politics of, or my opinion in a sec, but I'd have preferred AJ to do that one there. Carry the weight. You the heavy people. You the heavyweight, right? You the heavyweight, the king of the UK. Why are you politicking like this for? Carl's been putting it on you. That's what I don't understand. Yeah? Carl's been putting it on you. Why are you coming in all political? If you're going to come in at all, you come in just on it, man. Say, hey, listen, Carl, man, you light in the back. Listen. I say, listen, Carl, you 50 years old. You 50 years old and you 170 pounds. Yeah? You need to stop running your mouth on this podcast. When I catch up with one of them Sky pay-per-view shows, it's going to go left for you. That's the kind of bars I'll be with if I was in AJ's position. Instead, he like, And the thing is, AJ, he tried it the other way, didn't he? He tried giving it the gangster talk. Oh, look at my money. But that's not the one. F the money. Yeah? Come with some authority. Or pick a lane, man. Don't be giving it the get on my level. You flip-flopping with it. 1 minute you gangster, next minute you politician. Oh, Carl, tell me about your career. And whoa, bro. Anyway, let's get back to the rest of what Johnson has to say.
Do you feel that you was regarded a champion because you fought for a vacant one? So the title not being there, it would have just been a normal fight. But they threw a title in the air and you became champion. You didn't.
They threw a title in the air and you became champion. See, AJ's throwing pure shade here. Yeah, anyway.
Beat a champion to become champion. And you became champion. Been a normal fight, but they threw a title in the air. And you became champion. You didn't beat a champion to become champion, if you get what I mean. Do you feel that win, not irrelevant, but it's not highly regarded the same as if you was to have gone and beat a world champion? How do you feel about that fight with Jean Pascal?
No, how do I feel about the fight with Jean Pascal? I recognise that voice is familiar.
So, again, I ain't gonna lie. The degree to which, the moistness I'm hearing from Johnston. I'm not even sure if he's indirecting. I'm not even sure if he's having a sly dig. He might actually just be moist. He might actually genuinely be questioning himself, like, oh, should I not rate what I'm doing? Should I not rate the fact I robbed Usyk's belt? He might actually be questioning himself here. Initially, I thought he trying to throw shade at Carl, but now the way he going on, like, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to punk Carl because he was saying, yeah, the belt was in the air. You didn't beat a champion. So do you feel like it's a real win? I don't know. It's one of the two people. Either AJ's completely moist, and he's actually asking. He's trying to get some reference from Carl. Carl, tell me how to think. Should I be proud of myself for this moody robbed belt for Usyk? Or he's throwing shade, saying, hey man, you did the same as me. You fought for a belt that ain't no champion had.
It's a familiar voice, that is very, very familiar. Anthony.
Hey, it's been sent in.
He sent it in, that's right. So how do I feel about the WBC title? Right. Good question, really. Because actually, when I beat Jean Pascal for the WBC World Super Middleweight Champion in December 2008, and he rightly pointed out that Tyson Fury was on the undercard. It's made his debut. I don't know what I had to do with anything. But the green and gold belt, the best belt in the business as far as I'm concerned. Fought Pascal. Right, listen. Joe Calzaghe was champion, and he was champion for a long time. And I was mandatory for that WBC World title. And Calzaghe made me wait until the final hour, the final day he vacated, because he didn't want to fight me. Regardless of what Bricktop will tell you, that Froch didn't want to fight Calzaghe. Apparently he looked into my eyes, goes...
And on that note, by the way, so Carl Froch, I'm not a historian. I couldn't tell you what happened 20 years ago, 15 years ago, but I do agree with Carl here. Yeah, Frank Warren and Calzaghe's been saying Froch ducked me. I don't believe it, people. Why would... At that point in time, Carl Froch is no one. Yeah, Calzaghe is the guy. Calzaghe's like the Tyson Fury, right? Or the AJ. What up and coming dude, what up and coming nobody is going to turn down a Tyson Fury or AJ fight? Yeah? Who at the time, obviously Calzaghe's not as clouted as they are, but you get the point. At 160 at that time, he was the guy, beating all the kind of washed up Hopkins and Roy Jones and whatnot. He was the guy. You're telling me Carl Froch from Nottingham, on his way up, ain't going to want to fight Calzaghe? Come on, bro. Of course he did. He was all over that, and for whatever reason, Calzaghe didn't want it. I'm not saying Calzaghe was scared. I think it's more of a case of, it's kind of like, what you can do for me. At that point in time, what was Carl Froch from Nottingham going to really do for Calzaghe? Not a lot. When he's been beating up the old, washed up US kind of United States fighters who had big names and whatever else for the last few years. But nonetheless, a duck's a duck. He waited till the last day. That makes it a duck. If Calzaghe wanted to retire, he could have retired 3 months, 6 months before. He waited until he dropped the belt, a day before. That's a duck, people. Yeah, if you're genuinely finished with the game, you drop the belt whenever. But to wait till the last day, you play in politics, man. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to fight. Calzaghe didn't want to fight Froch for whatever reason. Anyway.
Sleep. He's like a clairvoyant now. He can read your mind. He says, I didn't want to fight Calzaghe. Listen, I was mandatory for the WBC title. I wanted to become world champion. I fight any man. Everyone knows that about me. So to say I didn't want to fight Calzaghe for me is bullshit. But we have to go with it. And I'm going to leave that one. But I fought for the WBC world title. It was vacant. I fought Jean Pascal, unbeaten Canadian, young, hungry lion like myself. 2 undefeated, thirsty fighters wanting to become world champion. That was a 12-round war, a Hall of Fame type war. Look, Pascal went on to achieve unbelievable things. He stepped up to light heavyweight and became a unified light heavyweight champion. He beat Adrian Diacuna, I believe. He also beat Bad Chad Dawson, the man that beat the man. He unified the belts of light heavyweight after I beat him, and that's how you cement your legacy. And did I feel like a world champion after? Well, I had the green and the gold belt. So when I woke up and saw the belt at the bottom of the bed in the morning, yes, I did feel like a world champion. But I know what he means. I didn't beat the champion to become champion. That's probably why he conveniently didn't ask about the IBF title. The IBF title was held by Lucien Butte.
So Carl Froch is definitely taking... Well, Carl Froch is always quite... Is it antagonistic? I don't know, but he's always going to see people trying to have pop at him, right? So Carl's clearly taking it as AJ was trying to have a pop at him. Not AJ, genuinely just... AJ wants to know how to feel. Yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling AJ's that guy, though. AJ could be that guy who wants to be told how to feel. He wants to hear from Carl, yes, it's okay. Yes, it's okay, AJ, for you to steal a belt that you ain't beat a champion for. That's who knows. Anyway, I'll stop the Carl Froch part there, because essentially, the question's been answered, people. Yeah, what a lot of you Anthony Robber Beltier fans and AJ himself don't get is what no one has a problem with this, people. If AJ had been chasing Usyk around for 9 months, and then Usyk drops the belt and refuses to fight AJ, I'd be the first one saying, AJ, you're 4 times champion, and you're the real champ, and this is a real belt. The issue is when the IBF had already decided for Hrgovic versus Dubois that fight would be for the interim, on the basis that the interim champion would remain until Fury versus Usyk 2 happened. Yeah, that was already determined before Hrgovic and Dubois. After that fight, no one but Team AJ were out there pushing for Usyk to be stripped and for that interim title to be upgraded for some unknown reason, even though it had already been set out that it's going to be for the interim, which made logical sense. That's the beef here. Now let me tell you, man, something right now. Yeah, if Carl Froch had had the political clout, let's say Calzaghe wanted to fight Froch, and Froch had some mad Eddie Hearn clout, and somehow Carl Froch managed to strip the belt from Calzaghe, who was prepared to fight him, and then Froch fought some random dude instead for that belt, and Calzaghe's sitting there with his cock in his hand saying, what the fuck? How'd this guy nick my belt? I was willing to fight him. Because we know Usyk willing to fight AJ. He beat him twice. Yeah? In fact, it's a bit like, imagine Joe Calzaghe beating Carl Froch twice, then Carl Froch, yeah, it's a bit like Calzaghe beating Carl Froch twice, yeah? And then Calzaghe's happy to fight Carl Froch a 3rd time, but instead of fighting him a 3rd time, or waiting to fight Calzaghe a 3rd time, Carl Froch engages in his Eddie Hearn matchroom, little black book games, political games, and they rob Calzaghe's belt, and then Carl Froch fights a random dude for that belt. That'd be a problem, people. I'll be honest saying, what the fuck, Carl, that's a moody belt, man. Calzaghe, he'd been beat your ass twice. So how can you ever steal his belt? How can you ever think he wouldn't fight you a 3rd time when he beat your ass twice and almost stopped you in both fights, if we tell the truth? Yeah? Froch was on Calzaghe's ass. Calzaghe didn't want it. That's not his fault. Yeah? AJ, you went on Usyk's ass. He beat your ass twice. You have to do something to get back on his ass. And if you did do something to get back on his ass, let's say AJ beats Dubois and beats Zanya, I'd define that as doing something to get back on Usyk's ass. I think Usyk give it straight back to you. He'll put it on you the same way he did twice already in that sense. I'm not saying he win or lose, but he'd give it. Why not? AJ's the big money fight. Why isn't Usyk going to fight him again? Yeah? That's the key difference here. It was your smarminess. No one's got a problem with you fighting for a vacant belt if it was vacant. People, if Usyk had retired, no one's got a problem. If Usyk had relinquished, like Calzaghe did, no one's got a problem with that. Usyk did not relinquish. Again, the corny AJ stands, the corny Anthony Johnston homosexuals would like you to believe, oh no, baby, watch this video, Usyk relinquished it. No. It was a political coup. Usyk was going to get stripped anyway, because the AJ stands have been banging it. The AJ political establishment had been in there, sheckling the place up with the IBF. So he was going to get stripped anyway, so he tried to save some face and say, oh, I'll give my sons this. Yeah, and that whole situation only arose because of Team AJ. AJ could have been a man and said, you know what, people, who am I to rob Usyk's belt to fight a man who's beat people? Usyk's beat both of these guys 3 times. How can you even dream of waking up and Dubois or Usyk Dubois or AJ stealing Usyk's belt? It's a travesty. It's shocking. It's low masculinity. It's low T. It's embarrassing. And you got AJ and all the Eddie Hearn oh, for 4 times. You got True Turkey, formerly True Geordie, out there talking about, yeah, this is the massive feat. Lennox Lewis and George Foreman and this 4-time champion and that 5-time champion and he's in the greats. It's like, bro, you just keep losing. Let's call a spade. Yeah, to be a 3-time champion, you just lost a whole bunch. It really don't mean nothing. If Usyk could go down as the 1-time champion, so why are you talking about 3-time champion for? 3-time champion means you lost a whole bunch. Yeah, so get rid of that narrative like it means something. 1-time champion is what matters. A sustained champion. That's what's relevant. Not, I keep winning and losing, or like Floyd Mayweather. I bet Floyd Mayweather's a 50-time world champion because he beat a bum and then dropped the belt and then beat another bum. It's not the point. Usyk's gone on an undefeated string. Yeah, he washed cruiserweights and he's washing all the heavyweights. That's an undefeated back to back. He's taking out all the bulls. Yeah, that's to be revealed. And a man in that position, he could never be stripped. In my world, he could never be stripped by 2 bodybuilders he beat 3 times. That's the issue here, Johnston. Yeah? You smarmy with it. And you trying to make out like you just walked into a vacant belt. That did not happen. You can't even pretend like Usyk just give the belt up. Like, he's still fighting. Who here thinks that he don't want to fight Fury for all 4 belts? Now, to be fair, I think that, on hindsight, I think the reason Usyk wasn't so bent out of shape is he's probably hedging his bets, thinking, you know what, losing this belt isn't ideal, but if Fury does beat me, that means it kind of cucks Fury, right? He's done it then. Usyk's the undisputed. So Fury has to have at least 2 more fights to become undisputed. That said, I think all things equal, Usyk would have wanted to keep his belt. That's why he challenged in May when Dubois was fighting Hrgovic. Dubois' team, or Hrgovic's team, challenged to have the belt, the full belt, after May 18th with Fury and Usyk. Usyk challenged that, people. So all you thick anti-homosexuals out there who tell me, no, YB, watch this video, Usyk relinquished it. Why wouldn't he give the full belt to Hrgovic, who'd actually been waiting for 2 years? Then you want me to believe 3 weeks later, after challenging the IBF, he then agreed and relinquished them. People make it make sense. He wanted his belt that he spent 20 years working for. Yeah? It was a political coup. Backed by Saudi rebels, Saudi royal rebels in his turbulency, and the Eddie Hearn Little Black Book situation. Yeah, because we know between them two, between the Saudi royal rebels and the Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn, Matchroom Little Black Book connects. It's game over, people. You ain't got nowhere to hide, and Usyk had nowhere to hide. So anyway, Johnston, you are Anthony Rob, a belt chewer. That's your legacy right now. Now, if you go on to clip Usyk, yeah, then fair play to you. But if you get people, think about it for a second. You got True Turkey, aka True Geordie, talking about how great it is AJ's 4th 50-time champion, yeah. But what happens if Mr. 50-time champion, 50 times, gets in there with Usyk again and loses? It's like, what the fuck? You scammed Usyk's belt, you then get back in there with him and you lost again. So like, how can you become another time world champion? In the meantime, the man just beat you again. It's like, champion of what? You're champion of politics. You're champion of robbing a belt. And that's why it makes no sense to the lineage of the game to have these messers nicking belts and removing from the lineage. It's a clean lineage right now. Usyk's number 1. He's beat Johnston twice. He's beat Dubois. He's beat Fury. What are we doing here? How can you have 2 bums he beat 3 times, having a belt, and the record books will show, well, Usyk wasn't undisputed because it's, you know what I mean? 50 years from now, people won't get the context necessarily. People won't know that, wait a minute, this guy was undisputed and a month later, and 3 weeks later, he's undisputed, and 3 weeks later, the bodybuilder who he beat once or twice, once for Dubois, twice for AJ, is back a champion. What the fuck is that? It's just a bit moody anyway, people. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Click off the bell, 100% of that about it. Stop it.